Shumuriel, who was in the courtroom this afternoon. Shumuriel?
Well, Mark, I'm live outside Madison County Jail. That's where Amy Bishop Anderson is being held. Now, earlier today, I was able to catch up with the prosecution, who tells me they're satisfied and not at all surprised by the jury's decision to find her guilty, a decision it took them less than an hour to reach.
We figured it'd be pretty quick. That way it was clear to everybody that it was uncontested. It's part of the procedure on a guilty plea that you have to have a trial.
Amy Bishop Anderson's capital murder trial only lasted one day. Dr. Deborah Moriarty took the stand first. She described the terror she felt on February 12, 2010. She says that Bishop looked determined when she pointed her 9mm gun at her and pulled the trigger. The gun jammed. After 45 minutes of testimony, investigator Charlie Gray took the stand. He recalled going on campus and entering room 369. He says that he saw 3 bodies on the floor. Pictures of the victims and the crime scene were shown during the trial. Bishop put her head down as the graphic photos of her actions were shown. Gray says after the shots were fired, Bishop headed to the second floor, cleaned the gun that was used during the shooting, and threw that and the blood-stained jacket she was wearing in the trash. Shortly after, Bishop was taken into custody. When it comes to the big question of why and what would drive Bishop to open fire on her former colleagues.
It's somebody who probably had a high opinion of themselves, and I'm talking about the defendant, Amy Bishop, who could not take the prospect of not receiving tenure and not having some kind of accolades. And I think instead of doing herself in, she figured she would just get even. I think that's the way she's wired, and that's why this happened.
With a verdict reached and Amy headed back behind bars for good, now the families and the victims can try to heal.
I'm sure the families are glad to have this chapter and the criminal side of it behind them.
Now, when Bishop Anderson was read her sentencing, the judge asked her if she had anything to say. She shook her head no. Her lawyer did speak on her behalf, saying that she did want to write letters to the victim's family and express her remorse. He said he advised her not to do so. Reporting live in Madison County, Shumuriel Ratliff, WAFF 48 News.